Here's a quick preview for week 9 of Design 330. This is the what to do this week. Week 9, we're going to work on work orders and we're going to create a milling program. Those two things. So, what you'll do, you're going to preview this video that you are watching now. Good for you. We have a playlist for you, which at this point is empty because I haven't made the preview videos for you. But that's you be sure to keep up on the watch videos in the playlist. There's some assigned work for you, and in that folder you will find some of these templates that you see that I have open up at the top. You're going to need to get to those. So the first part of the assignment is creating work orders. And the second part of the assignment is creating a milling program. Okay, and it's going to be a list of commands that if you were to put it into a appropriate CNC computer numerically controlled mill compiler, it would run the milling operations for you. So this is a set of commands that I made up. They don't match G code, but you'll get the idea from it. It'll be a little bit easier. And then, of course, you'll do your submittal template and submit it to Canvas, and you can look at it, uh, the appointment schedule if you need one. So let's take a look really quickly at what we're supposed to do. So um, this week, it's all about work orders. Last week was purchase orders. How much do materials cost? This week is work orders, which helps you determine how much the labor costs. That means that next week we'll be able to assign product cost to the manufacturing side because we know how much the materials cost and how much the labor costs. In addition to that, a work order does a lot of other things. We're going to talk about these, but you'll need to, as we did before with the purchase orders, you'll take a copy of this and put it um, in your submittal folder, and you'll annotate what does this blue area do and what does it mean, what does this yellow area do and what does it mean, and what does this green area do and what does it mean. So that will be the first part, is just to work with this. And then you'll also be finding, let's take a look at what comes next, that you can write a work order for each part. And of course, there will be detailed information about all of this. So after you know what a work order template does and how to use it, you'll use it to make work orders for each manufactured part. And then you're going to use the standard times list also to be able to help you figure out how much time it's going to take to make your part. And this is an example of one. You'll have this to work with, and you'll need to put this in there. And I'm also going to show you, this is usually in most modern manufacturing setups, this file is no longer separate. It's part of your work order file, and they're integrated so that as I update one, this gets updated. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you've had Design 310 already, you'll already know, but that's okay. I will demonstrate how to bring your standard times table into your work order template and then make it so that it's all drag and click, and a lot of this will fill itself out when you do it. But we'll talk about that more later in another video. So that's the first side. The first part is create work orders, and that is part one of your submittal. The second part is create a milling program file. So last week you made a milling process plan, and from that plan you can write a program. And here's the command list. These are the different things that you can do. Now, this may not be the terminology that you used, but it should match up somewhere. There's set the mode for fast travel or powered cut, set the cutter size, reset the 0, travel to some position in the X direction, travel to in the Y direction, rotate the part plus angle, and rotate the part minus angle. And then how you would write that in your code. And so you're going to be able to translate your plan into a series of lines of codes that look like this. And there might be 100 lines of code in this thing to be able to make your part. But your plan from last week is the key. You're going to translate every single thing that you did into one of these things, and you will write the code. And I'll show you how to do that too. It's really cool stuff. Once you've started to learn about how to program a milling file in this fashion, you can get into more detailed G code, run CNC mills, lathes, 3D printers, things like that. It's kind of there's, I think, 450 or 500 commands in the language because every time something new comes up, we have to be able to handle it. But this is a simple one, and it gets you started in the programming side of manufacturing. It also allows you to work with standardized times in these. And so we'll go over that some more and show you how to do that too. So that's what's coming up this week. Create work orders, figure out how much time something takes to do, among other things, and create a milling program so that you have a standardized way of doing something. Of course, you've got a template to put things on, as always. So this all looks somewhat familiar, I think. Part 1 has a page for your work order template, work orders for all your manufactured parts, and your standard times list, which we'll be talking about that a little bit. That's going to be an annotated version of this. This is here for you, and you can just use it, but you're going to need to annotate it so that somebody understands that you know what's going on and how it works versus just copying and pasting. Let's go back to this. Sorry about that. So that's the first set, and I don't think that that's going to take you forever. Should be fairly straightforward. The second part, because we've always had a part 1 and a part 2, is your milling program command list, which you're going to be able, again, to annotate just a little bit. And then your actual milling program. Okay, so you'll have those two things, two places to put those. All right, so program command list is really an annotative set of comments to what you put in there that I've given you. Same with the template, that's annotative, and your standard times list is annotative, but also you're going to integrate it and show that you've done so in your work order template. So there we go. That is week number 9 preview for Design 330.